Caravan to Mecca. Around the turn of the century, Sheikh Mahmud was on his way to the pilgrimage in Mecca on a camel caravan from Syria. He was accompanying his teacher, Sheikh Ahmed Mekki. The journey took 3 months, and along the way there were many difficulties, none the least desert robbers. On one afternoon they came across another caravan heading east to China. They shared camp that evening, exchanged stories of the lands and experiences. The leader of the caravan warned the pilgrims to be very careful in the next few days, as there were many reports of the presence of an infamous thief in the area. His infamy was on the fact that he was a ruthless man, not caring whom he robbed or killed, and not even sparing the caravan of pilgrims. The next day, while having travelled for many miles, the Sheikh's caravan stopped to perform the afternoon prayer of Asr. As they were doing their ablutions, shouts were heard from all quarters of the caravan. Soon there were shots heard, and the caravan was under siege by the hand of the thieves, under the leadership of the infamous thief, who they had been warned about the night before. The thieves were relentless in their appetite for blood. Many Hajjis were killed and the caravan was ransacked. Sheikh Mahmud could see the thief and his chief in the distance. Like a proud king or a land owner, he remained away from the camp until most of the damage was done. Then he entered the camp to survey the booty his men had collected. As he moved through the crowds of the vanquished Hajjis, all heads bowed in fear of catching his eye and disfavoring him and risking death or a beating. As he came closer, Sheikh Mahmud lifted his head and challenged the chief thief. He admonished him for laying siege on a caravan of helpless Hajjis on the way to the holy pilgrimage. Most were astonished at the most courage of the bold stance of the Sheikh had taken. Fear ran through the most, as they thought that fear would be the invitation of their deaths. The thief addressed the Sheikh saying, "Do you know who I am? Do you know that I have killed men for less than what you have done today?" The Sheikh answered, "I only fear Allah. My life is in His hands, and His hands only. If it be that I should die today having challenged the devil, then let it be so." The thief dismounted his camel and approached the Sheikh. He addressed the Sheikh saying, "I fear no man or God, but I am the one feared by all." The Sheikh answered, "Then I pity your illusion, and I will pray for you to repent." The thief was so impressed with the Sheikh's courage that he had all his men gather around the Sheikh Mahmud to introduce him as equal to himself. He extolled the Sheikh's courage in the standing up and speaking to himself. In respect to Sheikh Mahmud, he let him live and brought to him a gift of 3 camels, gladdened with gold and silver. Sheikh Mahmud asked his Sheikh if he could accept the 3 camels of gold and silver from the infamous thief. His Sheikh was clear and direct in his response. He could not accept these gifts, as they were surely stolen from others. It would be haram or forbidden. As Sheikh Mahmud returned to where the thief was refused the gifts, the Sheikh surprised everyone when he in fact accepted the gifts. The thief was gratified and with his men disappeared into the desert. Sheikh Mahmud now had become an outcast. His Sheikh refused to see him, and he was sent with his camel to the end of the caravan, forbidden to eat or fraternize with the rest of the caravan's Hajjis. He even was stoned and spat on several times. After many days, the Sheikh's caravan came across to the royal caravan from the Khalifa of Turkey. There was blood everywhere. The infamous thief had laid them siege to several days before. He had stolen all the gift supplies that the Khalifa had sent to Mecca and Medina to help for the Hajj. There were also 3 camels of gold and silver taken. This was a special gift from the Khalifa, intended to feed and clothe the poor Hajjis on pilgrimage. From the back of the caravan, Sheikh Mahmud came forward with the 3 camels of gold and silver and placed their reins on the hands of the rightful guardians. A roar and cheer went up throughout the two caravans. Sheikh Mahmud was now a hero. As the ruined shouts praising his sight and courage died down, his own Sheikh emerged from the crowd. As he approached Sheikh Mahmud, he bowed slightly, taking Sheikh Mahmud's hand and kissing it, saying, "From this day forward, you are Sheikh of Tariqah."